Hello there everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Media and today we're just going to be kind of discussing Zelda as a whole right now because the series is in a weird spot where this is the first year in I think 10 years where there was not a new release. Now you might look at like, oh, you can't count Hyrule Warriors or Hyrule Warriors Legends, but even if, you know, counting those, there's been no year without a new Zelda game since 2012. I think Reggie made a comment a long time ago saying their goal was to have a new Zelda game every year no matter what. Something. 2018, you know, it had Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. 2019, I think, was, well, it was Cadence of Hyrule as well as Link's Awakening. So, on average, one a year, if not more, Zelda games have been released every year. And this is the first year without one, which is crazy. This is the first year that we were not getting a new Zelda game released on the Switch, or released on a Nintendo console. I guess you could maybe, if you really want to stretch the argument out here, say that Majora's Mask released on the Switch Online service back in February, I believe. So, technically there was something there, but in terms of like a new retail release, there's been no new Zelda game for over a year now. The last one was Skyward Sword HD. I kind of must want to talk about that because it's crazy, and I think, like I said, the series is in an interesting spot right now where I don't really know what they're gonna do. So obviously we know Tears of the Kingdom is releasing on May 12th, 2022, and that's your 2022 game. But then after that, beyond that, what is their plan for The Legend of Zelda? Because they've already done most everything they can do in terms of porting old games. Now, yes, there's still obvious bait like the Oracle games or the Minish Cap remake. They could port, obviously, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are the main ones. That's what we thought was going to happen this year. That's what most people thought was going to happen this year, I should say. They can do another Warriors game, probably. I imagine we'll get another one tie in with Tears of the Kingdom like we did with Three Hopes for Fire Emblem Three Houses. We'll probably get that. We'll probably get some sort of new multiplayer game from Grezzo, perhaps. But they're really running thin on ports, which is what they've kind of just been living off of for the past decade. If you really look at Zelda's release schedule, it has been mostly ports, which is crazy. And I have no issue with that. I love Zelda games. I love replaying Zelda games and games that I haven't played before. I love getting a chance to play them on new hardware. But it really does make you wonder what their plan is after Tears of the Kingdom if they want to keep that schedule, that once-a-year schedule for Zelda. Because, and let's go ahead and talk about Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD, people have been debating, oh, are they going to combine them into one release? I think that Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe should tell you everything you need to know. That is a $60 game remake, technical remake of Return to Dreamland from the Wii, and they're charging $60 for it. And to be fair, it actually is. They did redo the graphics and stuff, and they're adding new content, so like that's fair. But I think that and like Skyward Sword HD, and those should tell you everything you need to know about whether or not they're going to do a dual pack or a 2-in-1 for $60 for Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. It should tell you that they're not going to. There is no chance. Why would they? There's literally no reason to. Nintendo can charge $60 for that. Obviously, I would like a dual pack, but the reality of it is we're probably going to get them drip-fed over the course of 2 years. So here's how I kind of see it. I think Tears of the Kingdom in 2023. Then I think we'll get a port in 2024. And then like maybe that'd be early 2024. Then late 2024, I could see them doing... I really do think we're due for a multiplayer Zelda game on Switch. I'm kind of surprised we haven't gotten that yet, to be honest. Whether that be a Triforce Heroes port, we know Grezzo has been... They know how to port stuff from 3DS now. They did Miitopia. I wouldn't be shocked if they did Triforce Heroes, but I would like to see a new one, even though I actually, personally, I like Triforce Heroes a lot, but make it a 4-player game, I think makes the most sense with the Joy-Con, for sure. So some sort of multiplayer Zelda game, then we'll get, you know, so like early 2024, we'll get Wind Waker, then multiplayer game late 2024, and then in 2025 we'll get Twilight Princess. Around this time we'll start hearing about the Switch 2. I'm gonna make another video talking about that, like more in detail of why I think the Switch 2 is that far off. And then, you know, like I said, they'll probably do Oracle remakes, I imagine, maybe a Minish Cap remake. And then I think we start getting into the part where we talk about the next 3D Zelda, which is probably not gonna be like Breath of the Wild, or at least it won't be running on the same engine. So it could be a long time before we get that next proper 3D Zelda game, and that's fine. Certainly not on the OG Switch. Maybe, yeah, Switch 2 will get the next mainline 3D Zelda after the Tears of the Kingdom. But also a new 2D game, I think, is certainly warranted at this point. The last new one was, well, Triforce Heroes, but if you don't count that, it was A Link Between Worlds in 2013, so it's almost been a decade since we got a single-player 2D Zelda game, which is crazy. Of course, Grezzo did the Link's Awakening remake in 2019, and that was fantastic, but it was still a remake. So I think a new 2D Zelda, be that multiplayer or single-player, is absolutely overdue. So I could see that being in 2024. And then another one, be it the multiplayer or the single player. Whichever one comes out in 2024, the one that doesn't come out in 2024 will be like 2026 or something. And then we'll start, that's when we'll get like the announcement for the next 3D Zelda and all that. But at a certain point, they really are going to be running out of things. Now, obviously, this kind of depends on what the Switch 2 is. If it's a Switch 2, if it is backwards compatible. Because if it's not backwards compatible, they'll start porting again like crazy. Breath of the Wild would be ported. Tears of the Kingdom would be ported. And those would be, they could restart basically. I really hope we don't go through this again. I don't know if I can do another console where I'm waiting for Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Because we're obviously getting those on Switch. There's no way we don't. But I don't know if I mentally have it in me. Same thing with Skyward Sword. I don't know if I can do this again, man. So I really hope the Switch 2 is fully backwards compatible, so we don't have to worry about that. But then, yeah, it does raise the question, well, what are they really going to do? I'd say for like 5 years, it's pretty obvious. Pretty straightforward roadmap, like I laid out. Tears of the Kingdom, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess ports, 2D Zelda, 2D Zelda. Tears of the Kingdom DLC also in there. They'll do like a definitive edition that they can release and count that as their one for the year. But then, yeah, we're at that point, we're really running out of games they can remake. Maybe A Link to the Past they could do, I guess. Maybe Zelda 1 or Zelda 2. Actually, I would love a Zelda 2 remake. That'd be awesome. I think they could really do it. They could go crazy with that. Or even just a new game like that. That'd be really cool. I know people wouldn't maybe like that overall, but I personally would really enjoy that. And then I think the two major ones that you really need to look at for what I think is probably going to happen here. I'm trying to think, what year is it? 2022. This game is 25 years old right now. Maybe for the 30th anniversary of Ocarina of Time, they do a full remake. I think that's probable. Maybe not specifically for the 30th anniversary, but a remake of Ocarina of Time truly does feel like something that should happen, right? Ocarina of Time, it might not be your favorite 3D Zelda. It might not be your favorite Zelda, but it is unquestionable how important that game is. Nintendo knows its importance. I could see that happening. So, Zelda's in a weird place. Don't expect Wind Waker and Twilight Princess anytime soon, and don't expect them to be in a bundle. There's no way that's happening. Nintendo, they know their market now. I'm their market. I will buy both those games independently for $60 because I buy games like this. I buy games like this. So they know they can get away with it. And I mean, you know, why not? Skyward Sword sold for 60. Kirby's selling for 60. Miitopia sold for 50, I think. You know, it's just like, you might as well. So, the benefit of this is, as a Switch collector, I do like having separate games on the shelf. It makes it look like, you know, because when you have like the mashup box art, that just kind of looks ugly. So we don't have to deal with that now. But yeah, I just want to kind of talk and ramble about the Zelda series and what they're going to do after Tears of the Kingdom, because I think we've all been waiting for Tears of the Kingdom now, or Breath of the Wild 2, as we were calling it, and these Wind Waker and Twilight Princess ports that we weren't really thinking about what was going to come next, because it's going to be a really interesting time to be a Zelda fan. For the past 6 years, really for the past like 10 years, we've just been on Breath of the Wild. We've kind of been this standstill, and they might do a third game in this style, in this engine, but I kind of doubt it. So it's going to be really interesting. New waters, uncharted territory for Zelda after this. Are they going to go back to the standard 3D formula that the other 3D Zelda games took? Probably not, to be honest. But it'll be interesting to see for sure what Aonuma and his team does. Maybe Aonuma will retire. Maybe someone else will take over the Zelda series. I could totally see that. I'm not sure how old he is, but I know he's getting up there. It would be totally reasonable for after Tears of the Kingdom that he's like, I'm done. Like, that's also completely valid. So, point being, Zelda's in a very interesting spot. I'm excited to see what the future of the series holds. Let me know what you think is going to happen after Tears of the Kingdom down in the comments below. Will they keep trying to maintain that one-a-year release schedule, where they just give that up and just go like every 2 years, every 3 years for something major to happen? What's going to happen? What do you think? I always like talking about this stuff with you guys. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at BoTalksMedia. Join my Discord, the link that is down below. And until next time, folks, peace.